Picture this. It's a peaceful Sunday morning. You're sipping a hot mug of dark roast coffee by your 10th floor apartment window. Just outside, balancing on a ledge no wider than a candy bar, your feline overlord is stretching its neck, completely mesmerized by a passing pigeon. Suddenly, a strong gust of wind hits. That lazy, fluffy potato loses its footing. There's no dramatic scream, just a chilling, heart-stopping moment of silence as this tiny creature free falls into the terrifying abyss below. Your heart is in your throat, your blood runs completely cold, and you squeeze your eyes shut, unable to witness the impending tragedy. Honestly, let's take a quick breather here. Has your furry daredevil ever given you a near heart attack by treating a high balcony or a staircase railing like a circus tightrope? Drop your most terrifying cat acrobat stories in the comments below so we can all share the trauma. Now, back to that life or death moment, when you finally dare to peel one eye open, expecting the absolute worst, an absurd, physics-defying miracle happens. Instead of plummeting like a sack of bricks, that creature suddenly twists its body, executing a mesmerizing mid-air ninja dance. It spreads all four legs out like a biological paraglider, locks its cold, calculated eyes on the ground, and then, thud, it touches down as softly as a falling autumn leaf. It seamlessly absorbs the massive impact, casually licks a tuft of fur out of place, and looks up at you with a gaze of ultimate, unfiltered disdain. You stand there frozen. What on earth just happened? How does a tiny skeletal frame, whose daily routine consists of begging for wet food and napping on your keyboard, violently tear up Isaac Newton's law of universal gravitation? Don't blindly trust the old myth that cats have 9 lives. The scientific truth behind that fall is far more terrifying and magnificent. Buckle up, because today we are tearing down the ultra-advanced biomechanical machinery of the feline body, a flawless survival engine that pushes the very boundaries of spatial physics. 1. The biological GPS and the supercharged vestibular system. The cat's battle for survival doesn't begin when it hits the pavement. It is decided in the very first millisecond its paws lose contact with solid ground. Let's put a human in that exact scenario. If we were tumbling from the sky, our brains would instantly short-circuit into sheer panic. We would lose all sense of direction, flailing our arms and legs in the air, screaming our lungs out. But your Majesty operates on a different frequency. Buried deep inside that tiny skull, hidden behind those perked-up ears, lies a spatial data processing center that is infinitely more sophisticated than the gyroscopes in a multi-million-dollar fighter jet. Scientists call this the vestibular system. It consists of a microscopic maze of tiny canals filled with a specialized fluid and millions of hypersensitive sensory hairs. The exact fraction of a second the cat's body flips upside down in midair, Earth's gravity pulls on that fluid, causing it to ripple. Instantly, those millions of sensory hairs bend, firing a frantic, light-speed electrical impulse straight to the brain. Alert. Body axis deviated by 180 degrees. The ground is currently located above the top of the head. It takes less than 0.1 seconds, faster than a human brain can even comprehend the word fall, for the cat's brain to render a complete 3D spatial map of its posture relative to the Earth. This is the immortal biological compass. It tells the cat exactly where it is in 3D space, setting the stage for the mechanical miracle that follows. 2. The writing reflex, the mid-air ninja twist. Knowing where the ground is one thing, but how do you physically flip a heavy body in midair with absolutely nothing to push off of? According to the law of conservation of angular momentum in physics, if you don't have a fulcrum or a surface to push against, you cannot rotate your own mass. But apparently, cats skipped high school physics class. Their solution is an evolutionary blueprint called the cat writing reflex. This is a highly complex, almost brutal division of the body that leaves aerospace engineers scratching their heads when viewed at 1.000 frames per second. First, the cat doesn't twist its whole body at once. It folds itself into a V shape. It violently tucks its front legs tight against its chest to reduce drag and its moment of inertia to the absolute minimum. Exactly like how Olympic figure skaters pull their arms in to spin at dizzying speeds on the ice. Simultaneously, it extends its hind legs completely straight, In a flash, it twists its front half, head, neck, and chest, a full 180 degrees so it is facing the pavement. But wait, the back half of the cat is still facing the sky. How does it drag its heavy thighs and tail around to match? This is where the secret of the liquid skeleton truly shines. A cat's spine has up to 53 vertebrae, way more than a human's, all connected by hyper-elastic discs. The cat uses the extreme torsional force from the middle of its spine to whip the back half of its body around. At the exact same time, the tail swings in a sharp, counterclockwise arc like a helicopter rotor to cancel out any leftover rotational momentum, stopping the body perfectly parallel to the ground. This entire god-tier twisting sequence is flawlessly completed before the cat has even fallen 3 feet. 3. The high-rise paradox and the magic of terminal velocity. Now, we are entering the most mind-bending, counterintuitive chapter in veterinary history, high-rise syndrome. In 1987, the Animal Medical Center in New York published a world-rocking statistical report after analyzing over 130 emergency cases of cats falling from high-rise apartment buildings. I want to test your logic skills right here. Let's say Cat A falls from the 4th floor, and Cat B falls from the 15th floor. Which cat do you think is going to suffer more severe injuries? Pause this video for 3 seconds. Trust your gut, and lock your guess in the comments right now. No cheating. Did you comment? Alright, here's the mind-blowing answer. Statistics undeniably prove that cats falling from the 7th floor all the way up to the 32nd floor actually have a significantly higher survival rate, and suffer far less severe injuries than cats falling from the 2nd to the 6th floor. Sounds completely absurd, right? But it is an undeniable scientific fact. The answer lies in a crucial physics concept, terminal velocity. When an object free falls, gravity pulls it down faster and faster, but the friction of the air pushes back up against it. By the time a cat falls past the 6th floor, it reaches its maximum falling speed, about 60 miles per hour, 97 kilometers per hour. At this exact speed, the downward pull of gravity and the upward push of air resistance cancel each other out. The cat is no longer accelerating, it stops falling faster. And this is exactly when the magic happens. When acceleration hits 0, the vestibular system in the cat's ear sends a signal that the body is no longer being aggressively yanked downward by gravity. The cat snaps out of its rigid, panic-induced muscle flexing. It goes into full Zen mode. It completely relaxes its body. It violently spreads all 4 legs out like an X, inflates its belly, and puffs up its fur. Its body instantly transforms into a giant biological parachute, catching the wind and turning the cat into a fluffy flying squirrel. This muscle relaxation is the golden key to survival. Because the muscles aren't stiff and locked, the massive impact of hitting the pavement is evenly distributed across the entire body, rather than snapping tense bones like dry twigs. When a cat falls from the 5th floor, it simply doesn't have enough time to reach terminal velocity, so it hits the ground in a state of sheer, rigid panic, often resulting in shattered pelvises or broken jaws. The ability to find absolute stillness and surrender amidst total chaos. That's not just physics. That is a terrifyingly beautiful philosophy of survival. 4. The meat, shock absorbers and the boneless chassis. The final stage of this death-defying flight, touchdown. Even if you're spread out like a parachute, hitting concrete at 60 miles per hour is a certified death sentence for almost any creature on Earth. But Mother Nature hooked felines up with a built-in suspension system that puts off-road Baja racing trucks to shame. As the ground rushes up to meet them, a cat never, ever extends its legs straight out like a human trying to catch themselves with stiff arms. They slightly bend their elbows and knees into a zigzag formation. When their paw pads, which are essentially ultra-elastic biological airbags, make contact with the concrete, the colossal kinetic energy shoots up their legs, but instead of traveling straight up the bone to shatter the spine, the force is entirely absorbed by the violent expansion and contraction of their thick, coiled tendons and rippling leg muscles. Even more incredibly, a cat's collarbone, the clavicle, is completely unattached to its breastbone. It just floats freely, buried inside the shoulder muscles. When those front paws slam into the earth, The cat's shoulders literally slide past one another, allowing the entire chest cavity to sink deeply between the front legs. This prevents the ribcage from smashing into the ground, absorbing a massive amount of shock without turning their internal organs into puree. 4 legs, dozens of joints, and 10,000 muscle fibers firing in perfect harmony within a millisecond, turning a lethal, bone-crushing impact into a smooth, bouncy landing on an invisible mattress. Conclusion: the philosophical takeaway. Wrapping up this heart-pounding plunge from the penthouse to the pavement, we are left with a staggering realization: this superhuman survival is not magic. It is blood, sweat, and millions of years of ruthless evolutionary selection. Out in the unforgiving wild, the ancestors of our house cats were solitary hunters balancing on the high canopies of ancient trees. The line between life and death was literally just a rotting branch. Mother Nature forged them in that crucible of gravity, sculpting them into zero-gravity super soldiers. But beyond the dry physics equations, the falling cat offers us a remarkably deep philosophical lesson. When faced with the ultimate free fall of life, when all solid ground is ripped away from beneath them, a cat doesn't choose to panic and stiffen up only to be broken. They calmly reorient their direction, use their incredible flexibility to twist their reality, and most importantly, they learn to let go. They completely relax their mind and body when they hit terminal velocity, softening themselves to absorb the harshest impacts. We humans could learn a thing or two from this. In this unpredictable, chaotic world, true strength doesn't always lie in rigid, stubborn resistance. Sometimes, the ultimate power is the ability to be soft, to yield, to relax into the fall, and to flow with the forces of nature in order to survive the hardest crashes. However, even though we now understand the absolute brilliance of this biomechanical engineering, we, as loving pet parents, must never get complacent. 9 lives is just a cute metaphor, but their actual life is singular and fragile. Never test Mother Nature by leaving high-rise windows wide open. The greatest form of animal love isn't just petting them, it's protecting them. So, what do you think about this terrifyingly perfect survival design? Is your house cat a gravity-defying ninja, or a clumsy potato that trips over its own shadow? Let's chat down in the comments. And if this story gave you a whole new perspective on your furry best friend, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss our next deep dive into the genius of nature. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.